And tonight we are tracking Hurricane Milton. Next weather chief meteorologist and hurricane specialist Ivan Cabrera seems like he's just been around the clock keeping track of this big storm.
Absolutely, and we'll be busy the next couple of days along with our good friends here in Central Florida. Just to give you an idea here, the 800 club, right? This is the barometric pressure of a tropical cyclone here, a hurricane in particular in the Atlantic. When you get into the 800s, you're talking about historic hurricanes. Wilma, the strongest pressure-wise ever to be recorded, and that was back in 2005. Of course, Gilbert, Labor Day, we had Rita, and now knocking off Allen, which was number 5, is now Milton at 897, below 900 millibars. We've gone over that a little bit over the last couple of hours, but that intensity, as I mentioned, will fluctuate. And if we're just looking at it by wind speed here, and some of the ones that have affected us, of course, Wilma, Gilbert, Mitch, Irma, and now Milton there at 180. Everything else, 185, about as fast as they can spin in the tropical Atlantic. Allen there at 190. That was the top wind speed that we've ever seen. All right, here's the update as far as our next alert and what we expect the next couple of days. That heavy, steady rain that was not associated with Milton today, that's still ongoing. That's going to be with us tonight, particularly for Miami-Dade. I think Broward looks better. The Keys will still be drenched through the morning hours. We will have a break from the steady rain tomorrow. We'll be in between that broad low that brought us the rain and Milton, and then we'll get ready for some wind speeds on Wednesday. That'll come in with some squalls as well. Those are the bands associated with Milton. This has nothing to do with it, but this is still ongoing. Next weather radar network, you can see some torrential downpours here about to move in over towards the Monroe, and all of this will be flying from west to east over the next several hours. In fact, I think it's raining heavily still through the morning hours. Depicted here on next weather rain track, you'll be able to see, particularly in the Keys, there will be a southern shift, and then eventually this will all lift to the north. We're still going to get heavy rain. The flood threat is going to be there, but then look at this break here. I think this is about as dry as we are going to see it and have been over the last several days as far as the rainfall here. Nice break there from 2 to 9 p.m. and then by midnight we'll start getting into the winds, and I'll show you those wind gusts in a second here. But the flood watch, because of saturated ground and because of the rain that's still coming, is going to continue through Thursday morning for an additional 2 to 4 inches, particularly across southern Miami-Dade, as I showed you that band, that cluster that continues to move through. I think we'll get heavier rain from this broad low than we will from Milton. Let's just put it plainly here as we check in on the alerts. Of course, a hurricane warning continues from Cedar Key down to Naples, and we have a tropical storm warning for the Florida Keys. Again, the difference, you got to watch. That means conditions are possible within 48 hours. That's Broward, Miami-Dade, and then the warning that extends from Key Largo all the way to Key West, that is for tropical storm conditions that are expected within 36 hours. So we got to get ready for wind speeds 45, perhaps even 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts from this hurricane that is still wells away. This is our weather tomorrow. So we're in the clear here. Generally, we're going to get a big break before we have to deal with the wind that is associated with Milton. We're never going to get into hurricane conditions. You don't need hurricane shutters. This is not going to be a hurricane for us, but it will be some strong winds that are going to be coming in. That's the latest track from the Hurricane Center as it takes it into Tampa. Again, as I've been talking about, that exact landfall point's important. Wherever it makes landfall, south of that, that's where the surge is going to be. And it's going to be significant. It's going to be historic, 10 to 15 feet. I mean, that's what you're going to get with a Category 3-4 hurricane approaching. Now, for the Keys, more like king tides flooding, if you will. Helene gave us the same kind of forecast here, 1 to 3 feet. So I'm not expecting any significant inundation. The wind field will also expand as well. So the storm will get bigger, but nowhere near the size that Helene was. In fact, half of the size as far as the tropical storm force winds. So that's something that goes into our favor. I'll leave you here with the winds. They'll begin to, now we're in Wednesday morning, 35 to 40, and you'll see it expanding, but I don't think we get into severe wind gusts here, 55, 60, 40s, maybe pushing 50, and that would be about it. And then the wind speeds begin to relax throughout the day. Late on Thursday, we'll stay breezy on Friday, and boy, look at the weekend. Big improvement. So we'll keep you posted throughout tonight. Lisette will be in the morning along with Casey Sherman. We have a next alert again for the next couple of days. Continuous coverage on Category 5 Hurricane Milton next.